So do you believe that? Do you think it's a fact or a myth that uh, you have to be in the office to get that appropriate training, to build a culture, and everything that people say is about like productivity in office versus remote?
Yeah, listen, I think that so for the last 5 years, I've been 100% remote. And I would say that I think it's a complete fallacy that we cannot enable and train effectively remotely, like full stop. So I think that is
Hmm.
a misnomer. It's complete BS. So I think that there's a couple things that contribute that. Like one is like the tech stack has gotten better, right? Again, 21 years
Hmm.
ago, we didn't have a lot of the tools that we have today, right? So when we think
Yeah.
about Zoom and Teams and all the front end webcasters, that gives us a
Hmm.
great ability to collaborate, to engage. Think about you and I where we first met at Kumu. We
Yeah.
were an enterprise video SaaS provider, helping with synchronous and asynchronous video technology. Like those tools help. It helps
Hmm.
us get to enabling teams remotely. So I think it can absolutely be done today. Like, listen, the facts are there's going to be certain roles, perhaps outside of knowledge working tech, that like you still need to be in the office, right? Like your wife
Hmm.
works in a hospital. My mother was raised in a hospital professionally, right? Like there's going to be some roles that like you can't take remote.
Hmm.
But the notion of learning, I think can be done anywhere, facilitated with the right tech.
Yeah, that's. I mean, obviously, I'm biased. I'm building a whole product around it, but I 100% agree. Um, I was gonna say one of the reasons that I believe in this is what you mentioned there is we actually met through Zoom. Well, first of all, let's back it up. Like we met, I applied to a position via LinkedIn, and then I was lucky enough to get pulled into an interview, and then I met you. I met all of our other colleagues. For the longest time, we didn't meet in person, and I mean, I am a go getter type A personality, so maybe I do things a little bit differently than another type of employee where they maybe need a little bit more handholding. But I still feel like we were able to build culture. You and I were able to build a professional relationship that um, wasn't face to face. And so like whenever people like Simon Sinek, I'm throwing a lot of people under the bus. I love Simon Sinek. I got some books back here, but whenever he says like nothing can replace face to face interaction, I disagree with that wholeheartedly because it's not the face to face interaction that matters. It's the context of the conversations and what you're trying to do. And we always talk about intentionality on this podcast. So I think what you mentioned is like the mixture of the tools and then what I'm bringing to the table too, not from Grapevine, but just you, a software is only going to do so much. So you also have to have your foundation for your company.